Somebody asked me to make a video about subject contrast, so here's what you need to know. Image contrast is what the computer does. Subject contrast is all about whatever is inside of your patient's meat sack. Let's say your patient is a bag of water. The image that you take of them is going to look like a gray smoothie. Delicious. Let's say your patient is made up of things of different densities, like feathers and quarters and your mom. And then you're gonna take a picture of them. Different densities inside that patient are what's going to make contrast on your image. And contrast is what, class? The differences in shades of gray on the image. Why do we get those when we shoot photons at meat sacks? Because meat sacks are filled up of bones, air, stomach, contents, aka internal organs. And because everything inside a human body is so densely different, the image is going to show up with many shades of gray because they haven't figured out how to take x-rays in color yet. So what actually decides subject contrast? Density. What's more dense? Bone, muscle, or air. The denser it is, the brighter it's going to be. Thickness. So how thick the patient is. The atomic number of whatever is being imaged will affect it as well. Higher atomic number absorbs more photons. You get the picture. Higher atomic number, more dense. And then, of course, we have to talk about KVP. Low KVP equals high contrast. Think the KVP you would use for an extremity. You would use like 50, 55 for a finger. And it's high contrast because there's only like bone and skin in here. You're going to use something like 80 for an abdomen, mid contrast. And then chest, you're going to use very high KVP because there's so many different lung markings. There's air in the lungs, there's soft tissue, there's bone. That's why we use high KVP for a chest x-ray. So many different densities, meaning we need so many different shades of gray. The ARRT loves asking this: which factor affects subject contrast? The answer is going to be KVP, always KVP. Subject contrast is the patient's fault. Image contrast is the computer's fault. You can change image contrast after the image has been taken, but you can only change subject contrast if you change factors like KVP, get a different patient, or you slap a grid on the image receptor. And there's more to talk about like pathology and stuff like that, but that's for another video. Most important thing, remember, subject contrast has to do with the subject you're taking a picture of. That is your poor meat sack of a patient. Good night.